OPPO recently released another mid-range smartphone, and this is the OPPO A74. It's a rather simple phone, so in today's video, let's just go through our usual 6 different aspects of a smartphone that matters to me, and let's see if this phone is actually worth your time and money or not. Starting off, we need to talk about the design of the OPPO A74. It comes in a total of 2 different colors. The one that we have here is in the blue color, but it's actually more like it's blue at the bottom here and then it goes silver at the top in a gradient form. Kind of reminds me a lot of Pepsi Man kind of vibe suddenly. I don't understand why I got that vibe, but if you played the game Pepsi Man, then you know the color of blue to silver gradient, which is just, I don't know why, it just reminded me of Pepsi Man right now. And it is also a fingerprint magnet, so cleaning off this shimmery back will be a pain if you don't use a case. The OPPO A74 also comes with a 6.43-inch AMOLED screen with the typical 2400 by 1080 pixels in resolution, and it also runs at 60Hz refresh rate maximum. The colors are good and the screen is vivid enough, so no complaints about the screen right here, except that the pre-installed screen protector is actually slightly misaligned. As you can see at the selfie camera there, it's just not centered. And now the cameras. We should also clarify first that this version is the OPPO A74 4G variant, so we have only 3 cameras at the back. But honestly speaking, I will only consider only one camera is usable, which is the main camera, because the macro camera just sucks. Anyway, I can't explore much about the camera since it was already at the start of the lockdown again here in Malaysia. But I do think that the main cameras is good enough, and the night mode is not perfect, but it helped out a lot. And now for the software side of things. Overall, I would say the ColorOS is actually quite decent. Its settings menu is not complicated, everything is just laid out in quite a sensible manner, and the skin is not overly obnoxious in terms of animations and whatnot. It works fine. My only problem with this variant of ColorOS in the OPPO A74 is the amount of pre-installed software, and there are a lot of them in this phone. And what I also don't like here is the hot apps and hot games in the home screen. I don't need any of them, and yet I can't remove them. Both the hot games and hot apps actually link back to OPPO's very own app market, which I also cannot disable or remove, so I'm pretty much stuck with these hot games and hot apps in my home screen. Also, this app market keeps sending me notifications, which are technically just ads, and I find that to be very annoying. As for the performance of the OPPO A74, I would say it's perfectly fine with the Snapdragon 662 in terms of day-to-day usage. I don't feel any sluggishness or anything like that. And one thing in particular though, if you head into the settings menu, you can actually select the RAM disk to be enabled or disabled. But I don't think this is necessary since this phone already comes with 6 gigs of RAM. But if you do need RAM disk, then there's also an option for you to choose between 2 gigs, 3 gigs or 5 gigs of RAM disk capacity. Though I don't know what happened to 4 gigs of capacity. And for the battery, the OPPO A74 comes with a massive 5000 mAh battery, and because it is using a Snapdragon 662 chipset, which is technically quite power efficient, this phone can last slightly more than 14 hours in our battery life test, which is really good, so you can use it throughout the day without having to worry to recharge it in between. And OPPO also included a 33-watt charger inside the box, and it charges the phone from 15 to 100% in about slightly more than an hour's time. So in conclusion, the OPPO A74 is actually a very decent phone. For the price of 849 ringgit as far as I can find, this phone offers a pretty decent user experience overall, and for its price I would say it's also very reasonable. I mean, there's nothing much to complain about this phone other than just the hot games and hot apps, notifications and all of those ads. But overall, yeah, it's a good phone. And that's all we have to share with you about the OPPO A74. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.